Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and you here on Instagram. I figured I better do this at the same time. Alright, so this is going to be really short and really sweet for you on Instagram. So, for those who don't know me, my name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I am part Native American, part black, and part white. That's my introduction for you here on Instagram who also don't know me. Don't worry, this video will not be political. Last night I was supposed to make some videos for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and it didn't happen. I was going to get in this suit, make some PSAs about wearing these masks that we have to wear for the sake of all humanity. It didn't happen because, one, I'm suffering from some serious chronic back pain, and I don't know what I did outside of the dog pulling me off the porch the wrong way last night, and it only added to the aggravation of my back. And so, excuse me. That being said, I don't want to go through the hassle of going to the military hospital because I don't want them to schedule my appointment in March on the day that I have cosplay, because that'll totally ruin everything. So I'm going to talk to y'all in a few minutes about what's going on. Alright, besides my back pain. So I do have a book deal for those who don't know. It's with Page Publishing. I have a few more months to pay for the book to be published. Alright? I have a second book deal possibly in the works, but before I sign anything, before I have to pay anything else, I want to make sure that I have made the money back that I'm actually putting into the second book. Now, they're publishing the second book because it was the smallest book, and I do have a first book. They have the second book, not the first book, but they have the second and the first book, but they like the second book first because the first book was too long, but they looked at it and they're starting to like it, so that's good news. Alright, now, American Code of Witch is the second book, and they're going to get that published first. I just have to pay for it so that it can be published. So we're in that process. So for those who don't know why I don't have any money, now you know why I don't have any money. I have to pay a publishing company to publish my book. And the book is called American Code of Witch. I'm not going to give you a big summary, just a small summary, and then I'm going to talk about Love 13, which is actually my first book, but it'll probably be the second book published. I hope you guys understand whatever's coming out of my mouth right now. Anyway, so American Code of Witch is about a family of 3. The older brother is in college, so this basically is about the 2 younger sisters, and they are of mixed ethnicity. Their mother is Native American, their father is Japanese. Henceforth, Code of Witch is female ninja. So, there you go. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't want to ruin it. I want you guys to actually buy the book and read the book. I also dedicated a chapter to my crush, and I've also dedicated a chapter, the same chapter, to like my crush, my friends, my family, everybody involved. Alright, now, skipping ahead, I do have the possibility of my first book being published, which is the second book that will be published, and that is called Love 13, which stands for Legion of Vengeful Enchantress. That story is going to be a big CF of a lot of things. And FYI, both of the stories are make-believe, but they take place in real places. Alright? Now, American Code of Witch is a lot easier because it was all of it basically takes place in Hawaii and Japan. That's pretty much it. Why Hawaii and Japan? Because that's the place I would prefer to live in real life, and I would love to visit Japan before I die. Which, if this book makes money, that will be like the first thing once we get rid of this COVID stuff. Anyway, the second thing is that I know a lot about ninjutsu and martial arts, so it was easier to write American Code of Witch and keep it short versus the research I had to do for Love 13 because I had to do Native American deities. Sasquatch, Coyote the Trickster, the Deer Woman, Thunderbird, and the Iceberg Queen Goddess or whatever from the Inuit or Eskimo legends. So if you're not Native American, you have no idea who I'm talking about, and some Native Americans probably have no idea who I'm talking about, but they're all tribal legends or guardians or spirits of vengeance, alright? Pretty much led by Coyote the Trickster. That's pretty much all I'm going to give you because I don't want to ruin the story. So if it's actually published, I actually want you to go out and read it. But the women are all brought together by one thing that they have in common, besides being female, and I don't want to ruin that. But it also goes into some Chinese legends. It goes into Shangri-La. It brings in unicorns, and yes, I'm afraid of horses. It also brings in fairies and the Greek gods, the place where gods go. Not Valhalla, though. I didn't want to go too deep into that because I'm not really fond of Viking lore outside of Thor. So, between Asgard and Valhalla, it's kind of a hard choice to pick. And I kind of wanted to keep it with more Native American stuff since I'm part Native American and part black and part white. I know more about my black side versus my white side and my Native American side, but that's a whole other issue. So in that, I went and did a little bit of research on some Chinese stuff, and I actually was writing it before I did the research, and I found out that certain places in there really actually did exist, and I was like, oh wow, this is really a real place in China that I have never been, so I don't even know how that worked, but I guess part being Native American is that you're really attached to the earth. I kind of dreamed the place up, and that's where it all kind of begins for the bad person who's not really a bad person, but the good person who has an issue with spirit walkers or dream walkers, starts in Waynesboro here in Virginia. So it'll be a very interesting story once I decide if we're going to go with the second option of publishing that with Page Publishing. So I just wanted to let you guys know on what's going on and how far I'm coming. So the book should be, American Kona Reach should be ready to go by the end of March. So I don't know what their prices are going to be. I just know that I'm paying them to publish the book, which is why I have no money. I could pay them faster if people who I've lent money to would have paid me back, which has put me in this hole, which is why I have absolutely positively no money, which is why I'm barely making it from check to check. But anyway, that being said, I wanted you guys to understand what was going on, why I didn't make any videos last night outside of my weapons demonstration, plus it was cold outside. I'm getting ready to head for class in a few minutes, and I just wanted to touch you guys up on what's been going on. So that being said, thank you Instagram, thank you Comfort Habit number 2, be seeing you.